Here's what's on the table today. AI on your kid's smartwatch? Is this the next must-have gadget or a step too far? Bots that talk first. Meta's new move to have AI proactively chat with you. Google's AI in education. Big changes coming to schools and learning. Meta poaching OpenAI talent. The war for AI's biggest minds is heating up. Let's jump in. Do you want AI on your kid's smartwatch? The future is knocking and it's coming in a really interesting package. We are not talking about another toy, we are talking about AI-powered smartwatch for kids. Pinwheel, a company you might know for its safe phones for youngsters, has just dropped something that could really shake up the kids' gadget market. Pinwheel, which started with digital detox, remember their internet-free phones, is now making a sharp turn. They are launching a kid's smartwatch with a built-in AI chatbot. That's right, your kids will be able to chat with a machine right there on their wrist. What's the big idea? Safe communication. Of course, everything is under parental control. Trusted contacts monitoring, it's all Pinwheel after all. Education and fun. The chatbot is designed to answer questions, help with homework, and maybe even tell stories. The potential for interactive learning and play sounds pretty cool. Location and others. Like any good kid's smartwatch, this one will probably have GPS and SOS buttons too. It looks like Pinwheel is trying to mix smart with safe, sticking to its philosophy of parental control. Imagine your kid asking the bot about dinosaur history. The smartwatch answers right away. Sounds futuristic, doesn't it? But there are always some buts. As always, there are few buts that might give you a headache. Privacy and data. What about the data from kids' conversations with AI? How will it be protected and used? This question must be asked because we are talking about your youngest here. Impact on development. Will constant interaction with AI negatively affect social skills and human relationships? Will kids start avoiding talking to their friends in favor of an ideal bot? Content and addiction. Will the AI always give correct, safe content, and will such a gadget, even a safe one, increase screen time at the expense of offline activities like playing outside or reading books? Pinwheel is selling a vision of a smart and safe assistant for kids. It definitely sounds tempting, but remember, AI in the hands of the youngest is still new territory. We need to think about whether we really want our children to grow up with AI on their wrist. Time will tell if this smartwatch is a brilliant invention or if it opens a bit of a Pandora's box. Alright, so Meta, always chasing our attention, has came up with a new trick. As TechCrunch reports, they won't wait for you to message them. Now their chatbots will message you first. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, AI assistants that sense when you might want to chat about movies or the weather and ping you themselves. A little creepy, a little cool, as AI tends to be. This is just to make sure we don't get bored on a messenger, WhatsApp or Instagram. But don't worry, they won't message everyone right away. You need to chat with them 5 times in 2 weeks to earn their proactive attention. So, what does this mean? Meta wants us even more hooked into their world. And us? Well, we will see if these bots hit the market or just flood our inboxes. Alright, hold on tight, because a real revolution is brewing in the world of education, and guess who's behind it? The giant from Mountain View, Google. Google is smashing its way into schools and universities with AI, introducing new Gemini tools for teachers, chatbots for students, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. What does this mean in practice? Gemini for teachers. Teacher will get tools powered by Gemini, Google's most powerful AI model. We can only imagine this means automatic lessons plan generation, quick creation of educational materials, personalized tests, or even assistance for grading assignments. This aims for free teachers from boring, repetitive work so they can focus on what's most important: teaching. Chatbots for students. That's right, dear students, instead of asking a friend or digging through Wikipedia, you will be able to chat with an AI-powered chatbot, a virtual tutor that answers questions, explains difficult topics, and maybe even helps with homework. Of course, all of this is meant to be adapted to age and educational needs, so the AI won't do all your work for you. And what else? We will probably see personalized learning paths, adaptive platforms that adjust each student's pace and learning style, or tools for analyzing progress and early problem detection. Now, this is where the guessing game begins. On one hand, it sounds like a dream. Teachers have more time, students get more personalized support non-stop. Sounds like utopia, right? But there are few catches. First, privacy. Google collects tons of our data. Do we really want AI to collect data on how we learn, what we struggle with, and what our weaknesses are? Who will have access to these information? These questions need to be asked loudly. Second, dependence. Will students become too dependent on AI? Will they still be able to think independently, search for information, solve problems, or will they just rely on chatbot answers? Will creativity and critical thinking suffer when a machine tells them everything? Third, the teacher's role. If AI takes over some duties, what about teachers? Will they just become overseers of AI? Will their role change from imparting knowledge to mentoring and developing skills that AI can't replace? Will this lead to less demand for teachers in the future? Fourth, inequality. Will access to those advanced tools equal for everyone? Will schools in the richer areas get top-tier solutions while poorer ones fall behind? AI in education could deepen existing inequalities if there isn't always well thought out access strategy for all. What Google is doing is a massive move that will certainly accelerate the transformation of education globally. It is no longer a question of if AI will enter schools, but when and how. This means we need to start having serious conversations about how to use AI potential while minimizing the risks. The goal is for AI to be a supportive tool, not a replacement for human intellect and interaction. The only question is, are we ready for this? Will the education system, often quite conservative, manage to adapt to these changes at the right pace? Will teachers get proper training, and are we as a society ready for our children to learn with bots? These are fascinating yet somewhat terrifying prospects. Alright, hold on tight, because in the world of artificial intelligence, ladies and gentlemen, a real thriller is unfolding. Mark Zuckerberg, Meta's boss, is playing handball, and not with just anyone, but with OpenAI itself. Industry rumors report Zuck has set off a real recruitment bomb. It started with Trapit Bansal, the guy who handled AI reasoning models at OpenAI. He's a brainiac who figured out how to teach AI to truly understand the world. And what happened? Proof. Bansal moved to Meta's AI superintelligence team. This was already a sign that Meta was thinking about something bigger, about this whole AGI, artificial general intelligence, that's supposed to be as smart as human or even smarter. But that was just the beginning. After Bansal, as if on cue, there more researchers from OpenAI moved to Meta, and a short while later, to make things even more exciting, 4 more joined them. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a real brain drain. Meta isn't just recruiting, it's simply poaching. The market is buzzing with rumors about the astronomical sums Zuckerberg is throwing on the table. We are talking about packages reaching up to $300 million over 4 years, with over $100 million in the first year. These are sums that make even the toughest people soften. It's no wonder that the top AI specialists, who were often sharp business people themselves, are jumping at such offers. Money is money, and the chance to build the future of AI in such a powerful company is a threat. And what about Sam Altman, OpenAI's boss? Well, Altman tried to play tough. He famously said, "Missionaries will beat mercenaries," implying that people at OpenAI work out of passion, not just for money. But that's just a PR stunt. The truth is, OpenAI had to react. There are already whispers about recalibration of salary structures. Recalibrating meaning what? Meaning they are shelling out more cash to keep the rest of their talent. This shows how much these losses hurt them and how big a competitor Meta has become in the fight for the best. What are the guesses? Well, the Meta wants to accelerate its AI development to the max. Why? To catch up and maybe even overtake OpenAI and Google in the race for dominance in this technology. Imagine, Meta already has Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and then they add AGI to that. This could be a real revolution in how we communicate and use the internet. For OpenAI, this is a huge challenge. Losing key researchers isn't just a staffing issue, it's also a loss of know-how, a showdown of project and potential moral problems within the team. The war for AI talent is a full swing, and every such transaction changes the balance of power in the industry. Who knows, maybe soon we will see other giants like Apple or Amazon launch similar offers because no one wants to be left behind. This signals even faster AI development, but also an increasingly fierce battle for dominance and potentially for our data and our attention. But before we close this segment, and I have a few questions for you. Do you want your kids chatting with a bot on their wrist? Are you waiting for messages from AI, or would you rather they stay quiet until you engage them? Is this a savior for teachers and students, or another step towards average thinking and massive loss of kids' data privacy? What do you think about those 100 million payouts at Meta? Let me know what you think in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss the next hot news from the world of modern education and HR. And remember, stay tech savvy.